What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, all you guitar-loving, wonderful souls. If you're new here, I'm Jay Wills, a old musician, an old dude getting back into music and getting back into being a musician again. So welcome if you're here. Thank you for all the comments. I'm running the computer fired up. It's been an interesting last 12 hours in series of events, let me tell you. But a few things first, a couple new subs. Thank you guys. And ladies, if there's any ladies out there, for following along this journey. It's going to be fun. So far, it's been a lot of fun. But let's dive in to what has happened and transpired since last night. So, let's get stuff unpacked first. I'll be yapping. I just got back from a little over an hour trip. Had a bummer last night, but then a good thing this morning. So, for those of you who were here yesterday and know that I'm making a fretboard, finally found exhausted the abandoned spare bedroom of life graveyard and had to go out to the big shed. However, after many hours of searching this morning, found the wood burning kit, and we're gonna get this going later on today, which if you're new, I'm building a study board, fretboard. I'm a contractor, so I don't have a lot of time during the day to be online. I'm not online at all, actually. But I can have stuff at my job site. And I can study-ish if it's... I had to be strategic about it. We'll get to that in a minute. But my plan for that, if you're new here. And again, welcome if you are new. Okay, so last night, many of you may have seen, I did a little after hours. Most of the time, and for those of you who are subbed and watching, this is not my only practice time. Like I mentioned on like day 1 or 2, I do rudimentary drills in the morning with coffee. I'm going to expand that a little bit. I think that's going to be a good expansion and utilization of time because I'm finding there's progress that's happening, the dexterity's coming along, things like that. However, it's about mileage, right? This game of guitars, or really anything in life, honestly, is about mileage. You just got to put mileage in. You got to get on the guitar, you just got to do it. So essentially, every spare moment that I have that I'm either not turning wrenches, throwing hammers, and working with saws and shit, I'm going to be playing guitar. So, or doing something related to making some music that's not torturous to all you wonderful souls that are tagging along. So after I got done last night, uploading, takes forever to YouTube, was jamming around a bit, of course, have the YouTube music going in the background, and wouldn't you know, some Korn popped up. One of my favorite bands of all time. One of the reasons I got Jackson, well, Miss Jackson, notice how I'm not, because she's unhealthy this morning. And we'll get into that in a minute. Yeah, get into that in a minute. So anyway, Korn pops on, Here to Stay. It's also another really great song. It's got a pretty and I was like, oh, it's got a pretty basic intro riff. You know, it's the reason I got the 7-string in the first place. So hop on Ultimate Guitar, pull up the tab. It's in a different tuning altogether, okay? So I was like, no worries. We're gonna get into this in a bit. It's kind of just craziness. Hours of craziness last night. So fired this up, sounding great. Pulled up Ultimate Guitar, pulled the tab up, loosened the nuts, started doing the tuning. Everything was tits on. Tighten that back up again. Went to go. Sounded like absolute shit. I'm like, oh man, that sucks. I'm like, all right, that's no fun. How do we fix that? So I'm like, well, it's got to be me. So back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And now keep in mind, this is about midnight. So about 1:30, I gave up, and I was able to get it sort of tuned, but it wouldn't stay in tune at all. Every time I tighten something up here, it would fiddle with something, like it would throw it out of tune. So I was like, well, then I'll micro adjust it. Like when Earl, I remember, he's like, just use these guys back here. I'm like, all right, cool. So I twist them a little bit, and then I tried again, and that wouldn't work. And it'd be a little close, or I'd get like 2 or 3 strings in tune, and then the other ones would be out of tune again. I'm like, oh, this is clown shoes, absolute clown shoes. So, and this is even still loose. I just gave up on it. I was like, fuck this. So I hung it up, Boom. So what do you do at 1:30 in the morning when you're frustrated after playing guitar and you're just getting back into it? Of course, you hop on Craigslist and you get into the musical instruments section, which is, I've been there for a few months, just looking at stuff, picking up different, random stuff that's used, kind of vintage type stuff. And that's where today comes in. Check this out. Ladies and gents. Again, it's just all gents. It's all good brothers. So, I got back. So, I stumbled across something on Craigslist. I had played this for about 30 seconds, and I tried all strings once with this dude's pick. Older gentleman in about 30 miles from here, near Oakland. I'll keep it anonymous. Mike, nice guy, a little bit older than me, moving out of the country. So, selling off his gear. However, what do we have here? Stumbled across this last night. It'd been online apparently for a few months. And check this out. He even gave me his card. He's, what does he do? He's a PhD and attorney. So, good guy to know. Ta-da! So, this is a PRS SE. I know. Look, SE stands, for all these who don't know, SE on PRS, Paul Reed Smith guitars. Don't need the case. That's not the important part. But we'll just do a little pan up. It's a nice guitar. It's a very nice guitar. It's in very good shape. 2012 model. And yes, it's the SE, which stands for Student Edition. But I'm a student, so it's fine. This is the Santana edition. I saw Santana, I was like, it's got to have some good vibes, right? Have some good energy from the universe. It's got Santana's name on it, right? At least, cross fingers. However, what made this guitar interesting, I also got a good deal on it, really good deal on it. I mean, I don't like a really good deal, but a good solid deal. Because if some of you notice, this, hold on. Almost forgot. He's like, take that off before you put it in the bag. He almost scolded me. I was like, I'm sorry, shit, my bad. I'm just new to this. I don't know what's going on. Check this out. So look, Floyd Rose tremolo system, different than the Jackson. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. I know you're not feeling good today. No worries. And also, same thing up top, that locking stuff, which is, I'll figure it out eventually, but man, it's a pain in the ass right now. So, I picked this up about an hour ago. And we're going to fiddle a little with this. He said it needs new strings. He helped me plug it in. He only had one, excuse me. I had lunch a little bit ago. Oof. Just a regular old-fashioned lemon water. Nothing special today. Keeping it basic. He said it needs new strings. He put this Floyd Rose tremolo system on it. And also, he put some Lindy Fralin pickups. Maybe some of you know what that is. I briefly looked them up. They're supposed to be pretty decent pickups, I guess. These are the originals that came out of this guitar, which apparently those are pretty good pickups too. They're, which is cool. So he sent those along, which is awesome. See a little Lindy Fralin action. And then also, and he didn't set the guitar up. He had someone else do it. I guess it was some well-known person down south. He used to live down in Southern California. Floyd Rose, authentic double locking tremolo system. And this is the original one from the guitar is in here in the event that I ever want to change it back, which I doubt that I probably will. But let's get some shit on. Let's get my stuff on. And so he did tune it up before I got there. Like I said, I literally was like, bump, 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 bump. I tested all the strings. It sounded good. I'm like, done. We're good. I was like, no breaks in the neck. You didn't, it's all repaired or anything like that. No damage, no gigging. This is a dude who's about 7 years older than me. So he's like 56. Nice guy. The truss rod nut cover is missing. I didn't give a shit about that. I'm not into the aesthetics. I really just care how it sounds and how it plays. So we're going to plug this in. Going to do a quick little tune. It's going to be a little different today. I'm just going to try to work on some chord work. Also, I'm going to pull down the PV fiddle diddle with that, maybe a little bass guitar stuff. But my big goal for today is to get that fretboard burned in so I can start studying these notes on this board. But first, let's take this for a spin. I don't even know what this sounds like with gain or any jazz like that. I just know that the strings work, or like everything works, and it's a beautiful guitar. I have a love affair with the orange burst almost on anything. So this has this little thing going on. It's gonna catch my appeal. That's not the only reason I bought it. But this is a nice weight guitar. It feels good. If any of you guys have a PRS, you know, let me know what kind of guitar you have. Because it's always fun to see what other people have. So, but with that said, let's see what this dude does. I suspect it's going to be pretty awesome. At least I hope so. All right, so let's get that up. Boop a doop. Get a little there. Don't worry about the tone. Yeah, he did. He totally tuned that up. A little sharp there. Let's see which one of these is the. This is a little bit different. It's a little bit different than the one that I have. Oh, here it is, back here. All right, so not that one, but use this one. All right, cool. That's supposed to. That actually really, wow, that adjusts a lot. Shit. Okay, cool. What about there? That's on. Go a little up there. Ooh, that knob is fucking buried. That thing's buried. So, well, can't adjust that. No worries. It's all good. What do we got? Let's see what's up. Okay. That's not terrible. Man, I really want to drop this down. Holy shit. Like, I want to drop it down to D. Okay, first impressions, that's cool. I think that was a good deal. I think I got a good deal on this. People are like, how much to spend on it? Including gas? No, I don't give a shit about gas. I got this for $500 cash from this brother. That's not a bad deal, yeah? I don't think so. I think the pickups and the tremolo system alone are probably about that. And then he paid to have someone do this. So I think I got a pretty good guitar, guys. What do you think? Not too shabby dabby. We are 100% going to drop this down into D and just keep it there. That's going to be my goal. I want to have a guitar that is dropped all the time. And actually, that was his recommendation because I told him a little bit of my problem I was having last night with her. And yeah, that was the problem. And he's like, you know, it's always, if you're wanting to do drop down tuning, he's been in a band. He sounds like he's very well, he's got some mileage. He's got some mileage. Some good recommendations. He gave me some good recommendations on tuning and then intonation and a few other things. And, you know, ultimately he said, just get a good YouTube video that goes through setting it up. He's like, well, just find a good tech. And I'm like, yeah, no, I do all my own work and I am stubborn about that shit. So yeah, so Paul Reed Smith, SE, Santana version, that's now part of the family. So pretty cool, I think. So let's see, we're gonna grab, but what I want to do is I had another after hours, which I didn't post. Some of the after hours I'll post, kind of a new thing, kind of a stream of consciousness last night when I was frustrated as shit and I couldn't figure out stuff. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna play. That's always a good cure. If you're a little frustrated, you're a little annoyed, even if you're not, and you're just like, kind of like, right? Grab a guitar and just do a little jamming. Perks your mood right up, let me tell you. Okie dokie. So like I said, it's gonna be a little different. We're not gonna do any skill. I don't think I'm gonna do scale work today. I think I tortured you all enough last week with some of that scale work. We're gonna start working on some chord work. I have this solo guitar playing book. It's fucking ancient, but I have it. We're gonna use it. I've never went through it. I bought it, and what's the point of buying a book if you don't study it and use it, right? It's clown shoes. So that's the book that I got, and we're gonna. And it's old. This is over 20 years old. So we'll be playing with that tomorrow and later on through the week. But today, I wanted to introduce that new guitar. I may even, what we'll probably do, just for shits. I'll bring it down later. Actually, I'll bring it down now. This was another guitar, and I haven't really said much about this guitar. Let's do that now. Although typically I want to do an introduction on the guitar. It's always proper to introduce people and guitars and cats and shit. By the way, Leonardo was literally right there. I don't want to mess with my camera because it's just an iPhone and it'll be all jiggly and shaky and you'll probably get nauseous. But check this out. This was another Craigslist find. My fellow brethren. Ibanez, it's a 335 copy, fully aware of that. 2019, the guy never used it, barely ever used it. Beautiful guitar. Got this for $450. Less than 10 hours of playtime. I mean, there's no marks on it. Like, this has hardly any playtime is what he said. Anyway, this guitar sounds very good too. So, 2 Craigslist finds. So, I don't know, not too shabby, right? 2 guitars, an Ibanez 335 clone, which sounds beautiful, holds a good tune, PRS, SE edition. Got them both for less than $1,000. That's not a bad deal, in my opinion. So, but I wanted to show you what I was fiddling with last night, because my main goal with all of this, I'll play some cover songs and stuff like that at some point, but my main goal is to make music. And my brain, and now I know people are going to be like, well, Jay, you gotta practice other songs and you gotta play other songs and that'll get you good. I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. However, that is time. And I want to make music. And I'm going to figure out, get my Boss pedal, all the different fun acumen that I'm acquiring that's to make music and to make my own riffs, make my own beats and all of that. I want to spend time doing that initially. Work on scales, work on the theory, which is boring as shit, which is why I'm learning all these notes and all that kind of stuff. But ultimately, that's my end goal. And so if I'm on here doing scales and whatnot, and I bust out on a riff and some exploration, that's what I'm doing. Where I was going with that, full circle around stream of consciousness, is last night, the after hours, I started playing around, and it's gonna, it's gonna be one of those, torturing ear moments again, temporarily. But I was able to get some really cool melodic, just tapping and some strumming going. No pick, all that. I'm trying to, make use of these big old paws. Anyway, so that's what we're gonna do today, just fiddle around with what I was fiddling with last night and I did record that, by the way, but those aren't gonna go on YouTube. Those go into a little folder on my computer called the J. Will's Private Collection. Basically, and it's a private collection for me because all of the riffs and weird stuff and sounds and everything that I'm recording are eventually gonna be songs. That's what they're gonna be. And they'll eventually be posted to YouTube in full song format, just not that much. Like, this is behind the scenes, kind of. And that is like really behind the scenes, and it's a lot of just Some of it sounds really good, warms the soul, and other parts of it is just an absolute bleeding ear mess. You know, I can only expose so many people to so much, even myself. So, enough of that. We're gonna play around with what I was working with last night a little bit. This is very rough and a lot of exploring. May seem a little better this morning. I didn't do my rudimentary drills this morning. I was digging around the shed, didn't have a chance to do that, but I think we'll be all right. So, let's go. And this should be drop B this morning. Yeah. Sounds different than I did last night. Does not sound the same as it did last night. What's going on? What is going on? It's not ringing through the same way. What's going on? It could be out of tune. Damn. Could be out of tune. These are brand new strings. So, yeah, it's one of those. No, it's completely in tune. No, we're good. Nah, it's in tune. Not sure why that sounds different. Oh, I know why it sounds different. Duh, Jesus. So last night, I was running everything through my PV, this new tube, this used head. I also got that off of Craigslist here last week too. Acquired a bunch of shit in the last week, kind of crazy. That's what it was. So we'll fire this up. Oh, man. The problem with that is that the speakers, we'll just stay here for now. It's fine. What a bummer. All right, you know what we're gonna do? Similar to that after hours, because that was kind of fun. It needs to be more clean. More clean, less that, more that. There we go. Trying to add a little finger thing in there because there was part of my brain last night was having this like this part. I don't know. I thought that was cool. That little in there. Anyway, and then I really wish. Boy, almost. It's just not the same. It's close. Sounds so much different. And it might not even pick it up on the phone because it's just so deep down low on that. But this like over here is pretty cool where it was like a tapping. he picked up that slide. Believe it or not, the picked it up that time. Nope. Too much. Let's go. Let's see what that's on. Nope. Damn, that slide is not happening. Just need more volume. I know it's rough, but one of the things I learned early on in jazz work way back in the day, and I'm not trying to sound like all fancy and shit, it just happens to something I just actually remember. I used to write music when I could read music. That would come. But I remember my high school band teacher telling me that it doesn't matter, as long as you get the note, like the collection of notes can be expanded into chords and riffs from those chords and different fingerings and all that kind of stuff. And fingering, he was meaning because I was sax and piano back then. I wasn't playing guitar. And so instead of doing, like, for example, on the piano, I would write basic piano stuff. I'd be on the piano, I'm like, and very basic, just dong, 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 right? One note at a time. And then I would expand on that. If it sounded cool, I'd be like, all right, that's kind of a cool combo. All right, rock it out, no worries, all good. You know what, real quick, and make sure the camera's still rolling. I think we're all good. Oh yeah, we're solid. Super solid. So that's kind of that's how I'm gonna approach guitar playing again, in addition to learning the fretboard, going through some music theory on solo guitar playing, and then, you know, tortuously letting you guys come along with me and hear my music, with hopefully the less torture to come. Almost at 30 minutes. If you're still here, God bless you. We're going to fiddle a little bit more, just fiddle a little around, and then shut it down, come back tomorrow. I'm going to spend the rest of the day working on all this stuff, and then hopefully, it's going to take me forever to get that fretboard made, to be honest. That's going to be just absolute clown shoes, but we're going to make it happen. So, other than that, let's jam. Let's enjoy some hopefully good notes that soothe the soul. I have to say, this Orange Dark Terror little amp into a little PV vintage. Forgot a way to clean that up so this string's not so like over the top. Probably just settings and whatnot, but there's something about that just warm. I'm gonna go a little bit more, you know, let's scoop the mids out a little bit. There's just something about that. what that is. See, let's drown that out. It's like just too much. Too much gain, maybe. Too much gain, maybe. Maybe not enough. It's just not enough shape. All right, let's try that. Yeah, sounds way better on the PV. So. I don't know about y'all. There's just something about that sound. Man, that just sounds so good to me. It sounds so good to me. All right. Thank you all for watching. It's been an awesome, crazy last 12 hours. And I think that's about it. Cool. Peace. See you tomorrow.